Hey, how you guys doing? So this is kind of I have a nice little library, so once in a while I like to come here and grab one of my books. And maybe I'll put this book down below, and maybe you might want to look at it. I don't know if you could buy it on Amazon. I'm guessing it's on there. If not, I'll put something similar. But so this book is just a book about nuclear power and articles. And you tell me, after I read a few of these articles, I'm just going to randomly go from pages. There's thousands of these articles. So, Pittsburgh Post Gazette. I'm just going to read the first sentence. Among the numerous unpleasant surprises of the nuclear power plant accident near Harrisburg. Okay, we're done with that one. Lincoln Journal, May 14th, 79. A Senate committee recommendations for switching off all nuclear power plants. All right, new one. I'm just randomly, boom. Fort Wayne. The President's Commission on 3 Mile Island did not recommend, as some had hoped. Reno, Evening Gazette. The Kentucky report is scathing indictment of the nuclear power plant industry and its regulators. All right, here we go. The Register. Hey, who's that? That one of our presidents? The current hearings over the license application for the San Onofre nuclear power plant and most discussions of nuclear power plant don't begin to get to the heart of the problem. And if I can't pronounce these words and read them, it's because I can't see them. It's very small, and I'm like 4 feet away. So bear with me. I'm going to go to, that's page 63. Let's go to, page 103. The Dallas Morning News. Texas wishes to be something more than a dumping ground for nuclear waste. The Daily Herald. Americans expect those in Mississippi and 5 other areas will have little trouble understanding and probably agreeing with the House's decisions to lessen state authority to veto the nation's nuclear waste site. Let's go this side, page 110. The U.S. Navy has come up with a plan to bury its discarded radioactive submarines at sea. Oh my God. You know, the Russians have been burying these things all over the place. They don't even tell you about all this stuff. It's insane about the ocean disposal of radiation. I have a couple videos I put up, and guess what? The YouTube didn't like them. So I don't do that anymore. I'm just going to read. Here we go. St. Louis Post. In planning to permit a resumption of ocean dumping, I'm done with that one. Do I need to read this whole thing? Nah. Why would I read all that? The first 5 sentences. Let's go to page. Okay, let's go to. All right, page 131. The Detroit News. The anti-nuclear people are aggrieved because President Reagan's proposed budget includes funding for the Clinch River, okay, I get closer. Clinch River, Tennessee. So basically, all right, that was probably the first sentence that we don't have to read the whole thing, but I can't read all this. I think I can read it all. The Sun, the breeder reactor, a nuclear power source that makes more fuel than it uses, was opposed by the Carter administration, but may become a centerpiece of Reagan's administration's energy policy. The president wants increased funds. Okay, 103. The Daily Herald. Americans except those in Mississippi and 5 other states that will have little trouble understanding and probably agreeing with the House decision to lessen the state's authority to veto the nation's nuclear waste site. Page 53. The Virginian Pilot. Nuclear safety procedures of the government and industry are so deficient that half of a dozen members of the president's. I'm done. 3 Mile Island favorite. I'm done with that one. Page 33. There's little comfort. This is Post Tribune. There's little comfort for anyone in the latest official report on 3 Mile Island nuclear accident. Let's go to page 217. Cincinnati Post. Many people may not know it, but there were 2 nuclear reactors in Pennsylvania, 3 Mile Island, on March 22nd, 1979, when the nation's worst, the worst commercial nuke. That's BS. The worst nuclear leak was in 1950 at Santa Susana. That was 10 million times bigger than, or 10,000 times bigger of a leak. By the way, that was in 1950, and that mountaintop is still contaminated, and all those people downstream got leukemia. So this is wrong, but it starts off about 3 Mile Island. By the way, the worst nuclear disaster of all time, and it's the biggest kept secret, is Fukushima. And I'm not going to talk too much about it because this video will then be censored. All right, 2003. The Washington Star. Under our legal system, solicitude for a single individual can override the multi-billion-dollar interest of a huge and vital industry. That's exactly the point of federal... Okay, you know what? Too complicated for me. I don't want to read this whole thing. Oregon Journal. The Oklahoma City verdict last week, which awarded $10.5 million to the family of... This is all nuclear power plant stuff. Page 199. Oklahoma City Times. Not much is heard of 3 Mile Island these days, and that's a pity because the public perception of this nuclear power plant in Pennsylvania remains a negative one. Really? Page 167. Arkansas Gazette. Arkansas. I always had a hard time with that word. Power and Light Company has pledged $500,000 to a national public relations campaign promoting nuclear energy as economical and safe, and it hasn't decided whether it wants customers or company stockholders to pay for the contribution. All right. Of course, we're going to have a few of these in there. Lincoln Journal, page 141. Informed critics of the still alive, still kicking Clinch River Breeder Reactor project offers a defensive case that the latest scheme by proponents is a financial shell game. All right. Look, we're not going to read this whole article. You can get it if you want. You can. These articles, there's not one article that is good. They're only good before they put them up. But then after they put them up, you get these kind of articles. Nuclear power is an extinction event, people. There we go. Let's go to Akron, where I'm from. I'm in Cleveland. Page 117. Okay, Akron. Oh, this is great. Spent nuclear fuel rods will soon be trucked from upstate to New York through Ohio on their way to 2 Midwest nuclear power plants that produce the waste in the first place. They still don't know where to put these nuclear rods. There's millions of these things. Every nuclear plant has got buildings that they built that are built with 12-inch masonry block like Kmart is built with, and they put these rods in there, and they just sit there. And their half-lives are like 20,000 years. If one of those buildings gets hit with a tornado or anything, man, it's over, folks. It's over, Rover. It's over for everybody. I mean, they evacuated 3 Mile Island people, and that wasn't even a big deal. Compared to, oh, by the way, there's so many nuclear releases, it's not even funny. I mean, I got some videos that they took down that got into it, so I'm kind of staying away from that. I'm sure this video will probably be flagged, and I won't be able to put advertisement on it. 93. I never heard of that thing. The Saginaw News. Thinking Americans could do worse these days than to take a more active interest in what is rapidly shaping as to a major concern for all of us. The problem of disposing safely highly radioactive nuclear waste. Folks, whenever there's a shutdown, when they shut down nuclear power plants, they usually do it every few years. They do it to replace the rods. And what they do with the rods, they just store them on site. That's what happened to Fukushima. All those rods were stored in the reactors, up above the reactors. They melted these things. That's why now the 5 reactors are still melting, and the water table is contaminated. People are getting sick all over the place. There's 30 million waste 1-ton bags all over Japan. And the Pacific Ocean is dead. There's no starfish on the east coast of Canada, in the tide pools of Canada, or in America. There's no starfish. There's no sea urchins. That stuff's melting. It won't stop melting. They can't stop it, man. Who came up with this stuff? Okay. Anyway, so here's a book that literally has thousands and thousands of articles. And I can't read them all, because all I have to do is read the first sentence like I did for you. And we probably didn't even, you could tell I didn't really read this book, because this is the first time I actually opened up this book. There's no bent pages. And this book was called Nuclear Energy Salvation, or the S Word. And I'll put this on, if this is available, I'll put it on below, and hopefully it won't cost much, and you guys could buy this book and read it. Anyways, hey, thanks for coming on.